Welcome back. This is the last lesson recording for week 5 of IM1 distance learning. Where I have left you was I've asked you to do the practice problem of yourself on your own, and this is my solutions, so you can pause your video and check the answers and see if you can make sure that you are doing everything correctly. Alright, then I am going to go on to our next problem. So now the problem is going to get a little bit more complicated. Okay, so now here we go. We have negative 8 minus 2 times absolute value of 5x minus 7 is equal to negative 14. We have a whole lot more things. Okay, but first thing you should notice is that the absolute value function is not by itself on the left hand side of the equal sign. We have a whole lot of things. We have negative 8 here and negative 2 that is seemingly being multiplied to this absolute value expression here. So we need to isolate that absolute value expression first. That was the very first step that we said we need to do. So let me put this up. So we need to isolate absolute value expression first. Okay. Alright, so let's do that. How do we do that? Well, this is just subtracting 8, but this negative 2, it's not subtracting 2, but there is a multiplication. It's like negative 2x. Okay, negative 2x. What do we need to get rid of first? We need to get rid of negative 8. So in this negative 8, I need to add 8 to both sides of the equal sign. And then this goes away, and you are left with negative 2, absolute value of 5x minus 7 is equal to negative 14 plus 8 is negative 6. Okay, and then from here, I see that negative 2 is being multiplied to absolute value function. So again, I want just the absolute value function. I don't even want the negative 2 being multiplied to it. So I am going to divide both sides by negative 2. Whatever I do to one side of the equal sign, I need to do to the other side. So that leaves me with now 5x minus 7 is equal to negative 6 divided by negative 2 is positive 3. Okay, now this looks a lot more familiar. Okay, we know how to deal with this. We know that we need to set two equations from here. The equation 1 is going to be 5x minus 7 is equal to 3, positive 3, the positive count, and the other equation is 5x minus 7 is equal to negative 3. And then we solve as we've already done. You add 7 to both sides, leaves us with 5x is equal to 10, and then divide both sides by 5, and you are left with x equals 2 here. And then let's do the other side. You are going to add 7 to both sides again here, and that leaves us with okay, so 5x is equal to negative 3 plus 7 is positive 4. Okay, and then divide both sides by 5, and you are left with x is equal to 4 over 5. Notice that they're not two same numbers with positive and negative sign. The solutions are very different. So you have 2 comma 4 over 5 as the possible solutions. But again, we need to check again. So we need to check to see if it is correct. Checking. Maybe I'll do the checking at the bottom. Okay, so checking at the bottom. So let's see. Plugging back the original equation. I am going to plug back my original equation with 2. So that's negative 8 minus 2 times 5 times 2 minus 7 is equal to negative 14. Is that true? Well, let's keep simplifying it. That's negative 8 minus 2 times, we need to evaluate inside first. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 minus 3. 10 minus 3, or 10 minus 7 is 3. Is equal to negative 14. Okay, so then negative 8 is minus 2 times, what's absolute value of 3? That's just 3, is equal to negative 14. So negative 8 times negative 8 minus 2 times 3 is negative 6, is equal to negative 14. And negative 8 minus 6 is indeed negative 14, is equal to negative 14. So that checks out. Let's do the other solution. We said was x is equal to 4 over 5. So that's negative 8 times minus 2 times absolute value of 5 times 4 over 5 minus 7 is equal to negative 14. Is that true? Well, negative 8 minus 2 times, what's 5 over 4? 5 times 4 divided by 5. That's just going to be 4. And then 4 minus 3. What's 4 minus 3? That's going to be negative 3. Is equal to negative 14. And so negative 8 minus 2 times, what's absolute value of negative 3? This is when we are trying to get, when we get rid of the absolute value. That's just 3. Is equal to negative 14. So you have negative 8. What's negative 2 times 3 is negative 8. Oops, negative 6 is equal to negative 14. And indeed, you get negative 14 to be equal to negative 14. So that checks out. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here. And hopefully you'll be able to do your homework. And the homework is not very long. And we'll go from there. Okay, thanks for listening. Take care.